picture from ICRC and to prove it also through the further communications. On the second case, the meeting between representatives of the central authorities and of local Armenian residents was agreed to take place in nearby city of Yevlakh. Regrettably, on August 5th, Armenia, through its illegally installed regime, backstepped from the both agreements at a very last moment by introducing politically motivated and illegitimate preconditions and various pretexts. There should be no doubt that notwithstanding the intensive engagement by Azerbaijan with the Russian Federation, the United States, the European Union, the ICRC for finding ways out of the situation, Armenia has been deliberately obstructing diplomatic efforts. There is only one explanation for that. Armenia is not willing to be a part of the solution. Instead, it artificially ignites tension in the region with a view to continuing manipulation and misleading at international level. Madam President, the breach of the agreement on the delivery of humanitarian goods by the ICRC on August 5th is not the only obstruction. In fact, it is continuation of Armenia's politicization of the presence and activities of this humanitarian organization and its reckless attempt to exploit humanitarian matters for political purposes by challenging the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Azerbaijan and preventing the reintegration of local ethnic Armenian residents. Here are the facts that speak for themselves. Immediately after the end of the war in 2020, Azerbaijan offered its logistics and infrastructure to the ICRC for the delivery of goods to the Karabakh region of Azerbaijan. In 2021, those goods were transported to Barda city, to the field office of ICRC, to be delivered to the area. The Armenian side rejected it and prevented the ICRC from delivering humanitarian assistance. Right after the start of protests by eco-activists on the section of the Lachin-Khankendi route, Azerbaijan requested the ICRC to present the list of goods needed by the local residents and expressed its readiness to provide all logistical and infrastructural support for their delivery. The ICRC came back with the response that the Armenian side didn't want any supply through Azerbaijan. Armenia resorted to the unprecedented action, abusing the ICRC for smuggling dual-use technologies and other stuff, such as microchips, to the Karabakh region. ICRC had to acknowledge this fact, which is a serious blow to the humanitarian mandate and the reputation of the committee. Armenia rejected to accept ICRC's Baku-based international medical personnel to be deployed to Khankendi. It was the proposal by the ICRC itself to facilitate medical evacuations and help deal with medical issues on the ground, and it was supported by my country. Armenia's abuse of ICRC for its political purposes also makes it crystal clear that the calls for increased international presence, including UN-affiliated organizations, have nothing to do with the humanitarian concerns. Instead, the aim is getting more tools for manipulations. Madam President, the Karabakh region of Azerbaijan, it is an internationally recognized territory of my country. And the ethnic Armenians living there are considered the residents of my country, of the Republic of Azerbaijan. The government of Azerbaijan is strongly committed to guarantee and secure the access of these residents to the necessary goods and establishing appropriate living conditions for them. These objectives are fully in line with international law and international humanitarian law principles, underscoring Azerbaijan's unwavering dedication to upholding these standards. Madam President, the so-called Lachen Corridor is a road within the sovereign territory of Azerbaijan without any extraterritorial status. Is primarily intended for the movement of citizens, vehicles, and goods under the trilateral statement of November 10, 2020. In adherence to its commitments under this statement, Azerbaijan has allowed movement along this road. This remains intact after the establishment by Azerbaijan of the checkpoint on its border with Armenia. The border checkpoint was established in exercise of Azerbaijan's inherent right to safeguard its sovereignty and security, to prevent the consistent and blatant abuse by Armenia of this route for illegal military and other activities. And I repeat, to prevent the consistent and blatant abuse by Armenia of this route for illegal military and other activities, such as rotation of its some 10,000 military personnel, illegally stationed in the territory of Azerbaijan, transfer of weaponry, ammunition, landmines, foreign nationals and terrorists thereto, as well as unlawful extraction and transfer of natural resources from this territory. This is humanitarian assistance. The unanimous decision by the International Court of Justice on July 6 this year to reject Armenia's request for an interim measure of the removal of the checkpoint definitively dismissed Armenia's allegations that the Lachen checkpoint is illegal. The establishment of the border checkpoint has not impeded the civilian movement along the Lachen road. There has been, in fact, a notable increase in such a movement until June 15 of this year. On that date, another unwarranted provocation by Armenia unfolded when its armed forces attacked Azerbaijani border guards and accompanying Russian peacekeeping forces. This attack resulted in severe injury to an Azerbaijani border guard and concurrently posed a direct threat to the ICRC staff and civilians passing through the checkpoint. Madam President, if Armenia were genuinely concerned about the ordinary residents of the region, it would never have objected the usage of Aghdam-Khankendi road for the delivery of goods to the Karabakh region. This road is connected to the one of the major transportation routes of Azerbaijan, known as Silk Road or M2 Highway, which provides a reliable connection to international markets. Compared to the 59 kilometers long Lachen-Khankendi road passing through mountainous and serpentine terrain, this road is only 18 kilometers long between Aghdam and Khankendi. Today, within their visit to Aghdam, representatives of diplomatic corps accredited to Azerbaijan, including United Nations Residence Coordination Office and other UN institutions, had also a chance to witness that the road was functional and ready for transportation goods. Here I would like to refer to you. You have on your tables this map, which clearly demonstrates the ability, logistical place, international airports on the territory of Azerbaijan to secure and provide all necessary assistance to population in need. Equally are ungrounded the false allegations on genocide. At this point, Armenia's manipulative and deceptive campaign involved the so-called opinion by Mr. Luis Moreno Ocampo, who presents himself as an independent expert. The flaws in Mr. Ocampo's assertions have been identified in detail by a prominent international law expert, Mr. Rodney Dixon, in his preliminary report, which underlines that Ocampo's opinion lacks substantiation, is incomplete, and displays numerous inaccuracies. As such, there is no foundation for claiming that a genocide is currently being perpetrated. Specifically, Mr. Dixon finds that Ocampo's opinion, patently selective in the facts, in particular, given his failure to mention Armenia's rejection of Azerbaijan's proposal of alternative routes to supply local Armenian residents. Such manipulations under humanitarian pretexts are not isolated from the increased illegal and provocative military activities. Over past weeks, the Armenian armed forces illegally remaining in the territory of Azerbaijan in a blatant violation of international law, as well as Armenia's commitment under paragraph 4 of the trilateral statement of the leaders of Azerbaijan, the Russian Federation of Armenia, have intensified the military engineering works and other military buildup. The use of radio-electronic warfare equipment illegally deployed in the sovereign territory of Azerbaijan is of particular concern. Not only civilian aircrafts of the Azerbaijani airlines, but also those of foreign countries have been subjected to radio-electronic interference over past weeks, posing serious risk to their safety. Today, an attempt by reconnaissance group of the Armenian armed forces to infiltrate the territory of Azerbaijan and to carry out diversion operations in the Kalbajar district was prevented, and a member of this group, Vaskanyan Gagik Ashotovich, date of birth 1983, armed with the machine gun and ammunition, was detained. Mr. President, Armenia must refrain from provocations, cease its actions undermining the sovereignty and territorial integrity of my country, abstain from meddling in our internal affairs, and genuinely engage in post-conflict normalization negotiations. It is of vital importance that the historic opportunity for durable peace in the region is not missed. Verbal statements by the leadership of Armenia on the recognition of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Azerbaijan, including the Karabakh region, created a ground for cautious optimism that peace is indeed within reach. Now Armenia has to transform this statement into the real deeds and refrain from questioning the sovereignty of Azerbaijan, including under the pretext of humanitarian needs of the local Armenian residents of the Karabakh region of my country. Over the past few months, concerted efforts to intensify the normalization process with active engagement of international partners have yielded promising results. These diplomatic dialogues have played a crucial role in bringing differences and achieving tangible progress on several articles of the future bilateral agreement aimed at establishing a lasting peace and interstate relations. Azerbaijan pursues the policy of integration of ethnic Armenian residents of the Karabakh region as equal citizens, guaranteeing all the rights and freedoms envisaged in the Constitution of Azerbaijan and all relevant international human rights mechanisms that Azerbaijan is signatory to. Our adherence to both these tracks is firm, as we are firm to protect our sovereignty and territorial integrity by all legitimate means enshrined in the UN Charter and international law. We are confident that the international community, and first of all the Security Council, will support this approach based on equal and reciprocal respect for the legitimate interests of both countries through mutual recognition and respect of each other's country sovereignty, territorial integrity, and inviolability of borders. Madam President, I have also something to show to the august body. Social media outlets are full of numerous video clips and photos of local Armenian residents in Khankendi celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, and all the good occasions. And indeed, we wish them well. These photo and video facts convincingly refute the allegations about the starvation, famine, and humanitarian crisis. People are happy. They dancing at their wedding party. This is celebration, very tasty cookies, etc., etc., etc. I'm happy to share this information with my distinguished neighbor at my right. Please use it in your work. I thank you very much.
I thank the representative of Azerbaijan for their statement. I now give the floor to the representative of Turkey.
Madam President, can you hear me? Yeah. Madam President, thank you for inviting us to this meeting. As a country with vested interests in regional peace and stability and actively engaged in initiatives towards this objective, Turkey is concerned with the attempts of Armenia to exploit international platforms, including UN Security Council, to express politically motivated and unsubstantiated allegations regarding the Laçın Road. We need to address this issue in its proper context. First and foremost, the legitimate concerns of Azerbaijan have to be taken into account, and its inherent sovereign rights have to be respected. Azerbaijan has been expressing concerns on the abuse of Laçın Road for supplying armed groups and illegal mine exploitation in Karabakh for a long time. However, these concerns and sensitivities were not taken into account, and Azerbaijan felt it obliged to take measures on its own territory as it deemed appropriate within the framework of its sovereign rights. We know that Azerbaijan has exercised care to observe humanitarian considerations while these measures were implemented. As a matter of fact, medical evacuations through the Laçın Road is possible, and Azerbaijan has already allocated the Akdam-Hankendi Road for supplying needs of the Armenian residents in Karabakh. Moreover, Azerbaijan has demonstrated its willingness to establish dialogue with the representatives of the local Armenian people to address the issue in a substantial manner. Unfortunately, Azerbaijan's sincere efforts have not been reciprocated. Madam President, we remain convinced as Turkey that there is a historical opportunity for comprehensive peace, stability, and cooperation in the region. To this end, we expressed our commitment to full normalization process with Armenia and took steps in this direction. We continue to strongly support peace talks between Azerbaijan and Armenia. It is our firm belief that regional normalization can only be attained through dialogue and goodwill. We will continue to take part in, encourage, and support efforts towards this goal. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Turkey for their statement. I now give the floor to His Excellency, Mr. Silvio Gonzato, Chargé d'Affaires of the Delegation of the European Union to the United Nations.
Thank you, Madam President, for giving me the opportunity to take the floor, and thank you also to Madam Wasumu for her briefing. Madam President, the European Union is following with great concern the serious humanitarian situation affecting the local population in the former Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Oblast. Movement through the Lachin corridor has been obstructed for more than 8 months, despite orders by the International Court of Justice to reopen it. Since 15th of June, there's been a blockage of the Lachin corridor with the exception of occasional medical evacuations. Medical supplies and essential goods are reportedly in critically short supply or have already run out, with dire consequences for the local population. The EU deplores that the ICRC activities in the region have been heavily impacted and calls for their full resumption, including medical evacuations and humanitarian supplies. Humanitarian access must not be politicized by any actors. Movement through the Lachin corridor must be reopened immediately. Based on the November 2020 trilateral statement and the February 2023 ICJ order, the Azerbaijani authorities bear the responsibility to guarantee safety and freedom of movement along the Lachin corridor and to ensure the crisis does not escalate further. We've taken note of the expressed readiness of the Azerbaijani authorities to also supply goods via the city of Agdam. This should, however, not be seen as an alternative to the reopening of the Lachin corridor. The population on the ground needs reassurances, first and foremost regarding their rights and security. The EU reiterates its call for direct dialogue between Baku and the Karabakh Armenians. This dialogue should build much-needed confidence for all those involved. The EU has also been following the growing tensions between Azerbaijan and Armenia over the past month along their international border, with shooting incidents reported almost on a daily basis. The EU monitoring mission in Armenia is conducting patrols along the Armenian side of the international border with Azerbaijan to observe and report on the situation. The objective of the mission is to contribute to conflict resolution and build confidence between Armenia and Azerbaijan. We call on all sides to avoid further incidents and return to dialogue. The European Union, and in particular, President of the European Council Charles Michel, have been heavily engaged in supporting the normalization process between Armenia and Azerbaijan since the end of 2021. At the last trilateral meeting hosted by President Charles Michel with President Aliyev of Azerbaijan and Prime Minister Pashinyan of Armenia on the 15th of July 2023, the leaders of the two countries reiterated their strong commitment to the peace process. They notably reconfirmed their full respect of the other country's territorial integrity and sovereignty, and their unequivocal commitment to the 1991 Almaty Declaration as a political framework for the delimitation. As a matter priority, violence, harsh rhetoric, and the spreading of disinformation should stop in order to provide a conducive environment for peace and normalization talks. A return to dialogue in good faith remains as urgent as ever. This requires the genuine commitment of all sides to negotiated outcomes and a future built on common interests and mutual trust. Unfortunately, the current deteriorating humanitarian situation of the Karabakh Armenians is harming the peace process. Humanitarian issues need to be resolved, and concrete steps should urgently be taken to build trust. The European Union remains fully committed to facilitating dialogue between both sides in order to ensure long-lasting peace for the benefit of all people in the region. I thank you.
I thank His Excellency Mr. Gonzato for his statement. There are no more names inscribed on the list of speakers. The meeting is adjourned. I know, I tell them he's clearly gotten some sun.